So in this episode, I just want to make a correction because I committed some kind of errors in my latest video. If you haven't watched my latest video, I will put a link up here so you can watch it. And you will see there that I'm showing to you how with the Canon Eosm Magic Lantern, as I'm recording raw footage, in post-production, I can change the color profile or the color science. I can put whatever I want. But in that footage, I am mentioning as a picture profile because there are cameras mainly made by Sony, where indeed you can bake in directly with the recording profile picture, so a lot if you want. But in this case, with the Canon Eosm and the Magic Lantern, and as you can see it here, I'm recording this footage with the Canon Eosm and Magic Lantern using the preset 1:3 4.2K and 14 bits RAW. And on the Canon Eosm, I have a manual lens, a Canon 35mm manual lens at the maximum aperture of f1.8. And this lens is a real vintage lens. It was made in the 50s, 60s, and it has an R39, a Leica mount. So I have an adapter with it, and this is how I'm using it. And to be able to be focused in this kind of situations, I'm using the PD Movie Smart 3 LiDAR system, which is doing the auto-focusing. Hopefully it does focusing on me. So let me just correct the errors. So the Magic Lantern with the Canon Eosm, it records raw footages. That footage is in format .mlv, and then we have an application where we can transform this footage as we want. So there are multiple formats. What I am using is the CDNG, so it's a raw format with Rec 709, and these files then I'm importing in the DaVinci Resolve. Now in the DaVinci Resolve, as it is a raw format, a raw footage, I am giving color space where I'm color grading afterwards the footage. And what I'm doing, what I was showing in the last footage, is the different color space transform style that I have given to the footages. And the most appeasing that I'm using right now, I consider, is the ARRI C log. I really consider that the ARRI C log with the Canon Eosm using the Magic Lantern, it really works well. It brings out the best from the Canon color science, as you could see it in the other footages. So we can, create other color space, styles using Sony C-Log, or why not Blackmagic Design, and there are other options also, even red log format also, color space styles. But what I see is that for me the best is the ARRI C log color space transform, and this is what I see that is working with the Canon Eosm Magic Lantern. This is what I really love. So yeah, I just wanted to clear this up because I was enthusiastic, when I was working with those footages, I thought to myself, okay, how about trying out to apply different color space transform, like working in Sony or Red or ARRI or Black Magic Design and so on and so forth. And that's why I created, and you see on that footage that I'm showing you different color space transformation, how it looks now, how it's transforming the the Magic Lantern raw files. But I entitled them picture profiles, which is not the correct term, because in fact what I'm using in a DaVinci Resolve is just the color space transforming, effect. And so that's completely different than a picture profile in a camera. So yeah, and I will still continue to test this configuration that I'm using actually. And although I was reading a lot of reviews about the Canon 35mm vintage lens, and photographers told that is quite soft. I really think that in video, this softness that gives a really vintage look. So in this case, I really appreciate the softness of this lens, and I want really to test it to see in how it performs in cinematic recordings.